As the land awakens with rain, giants move not with force but with quiet memory, carrying the rhythm of the savanna beneath their feet. Height brings perspective, but it is patience that feeds life, one leaf, one breath at a time. Strength does not always roar. Sometimes it waits, watching the world breathe around it. Even the smallest lives carry urgency, curiosity, and a fearless trust in the present moment. Grace is not learned, it is remembered, released in moments where earth and air briefly agree. In stillness, the smallest movements speak loudest, telling stories meant only for those who listen. Power flows quietly here, carried in unity, shaped by trust and time. Speed defines the chase, but stillness prepares the soul. Where water returns, so does harmony, unfolding gently in every careful step. Beneath the calm surface, ancient lives move slowly, sharing the water like a long-kept secret. Intelligence watches quietly here, measuring the world with patience and sharp memory. Built for distance, it carries the horizon forward, one deliberate stride at a time.
Curiosity lives lightly here, flickering between moments like sparks in the shade.
Elegance and precision meet where focus becomes survival. Stillness here is not absence, it is intention held perfectly in place. Every movement is measured, shaped by silence and certainty. Listening becomes a skill when the earth speaks in whispers. New life learns quickly, guided by closeness, steadiness, and trust. As daylight softens, watchfulness deepens, and the night begins its gentle promise. Morning feeds the body gently here, where time moves slower than thought. Awareness settles in small rituals, grounding life to the moment it inhabits. Fragility sharpens the senses, turning stillness into strength. Unity transforms motion into purpose, carrying energy forward without noise.
Change arrives quietly, unfolding in shades only patience can see.
Together, even the smallest journeys feel safe enough to continue.
Progress does not rush, it commits, step by patient step.
Protection becomes poetry when survival shapes the form.
As light fades, the land exhales, and watchful hearts remain awake. Where water returns to the land, life gathers quietly, renewed by balance and time. Safety is built from togetherness, shaped by many eyes watching as one. Presence alone can command silence, earned without effort or display. As daylight slips away, curiosity prepares for a different kind of world. Readiness here is calm, shaped by listening more than fear. Every step carries authority, earned through patience and presence. Momentum builds quietly, guided by memory etched into the land. Power rests patiently, needing no movement to be complete. In mirrored light and quiet motion, harmony finds its reflection. There is a quiet dignity in moving forward, shaped by resilience and an unspoken memory of the land. When night approaches, purpose awakens, guided by scent and instinct alone. Protection becomes beauty when survival learns how to endure. Focus narrows the world until only the next step exists. Stillness sharpens the senses, turning silence into awareness. The land offers enough, if taken gently and without haste. Elegance here is effortless, shaped by patience rather than display. Joy moves fast here, painted in color and sound. Even endings serve a purpose, returning strength back to the soil.
Ancient rhythms persist, unchanged, carrying time forward in silence.
Strength here is quiet, carried in posture and patience rather than motion.
Nourishment comes simply, one measured movement at a time.
Adaptation writes its own poetry, shaped by need and imagination.
Balance becomes instinct when the ground itself demands respect. The quiet hunters walk unseen, keeping harmony in small, precise ways. Fearlessness is not noise, it is certainty held close.
Night does not arrive suddenly. It opens gently, inviting new stories to begin.
In shared thirst, even the sky pauses to touch the earth. Imperfect forms still carry purpose, shaped by resilience and time. Elegance emerges where patience meets still water, and the day begins to listen. Independence lives in small decisions, made quietly, moment by moment. Even the smallest hearts beat fast with purpose, tuned perfectly to the earth. Authority settles naturally, earned through watchfulness and time. Confidence doesn't announce itself, it simply arrives, fully formed.
Warmth brings color, and stillness reveals strength.
Caution is not fear, it is wisdom shaped by experience. Awareness stretches quietly, sensing the world before it moves. Companionship turns open ground into shared territory. Where land and water meet, adaptation finds its calm. Vigilance lingers gently here, guarding the quiet as the day exhales. Alertness lives lightly here, never tense, always ready to listen. Contrast gives form to beauty, shaped quietly by light and patience. Lightness becomes freedom when movement trusts the ground beneath it. Stillness sharpens thought, turning watchfulness into calm understanding. Survival leaves its marks quietly, written in endurance rather than sound.
Some moments ask only for patience, and reveal everything in return. Care becomes ritual, renewing balance, feather by feather.
Balance finds new meaning where water learns to hold life. Warning is not motion, it is presence, clearly understood. As daylight releases its hold, the sky fills with quiet departures. Renewal doesn't rush. It coats the body gently, sealing memory into skin. Cooperation here is unspoken, carried forward by trust and rhythm. Energy becomes beauty when motion meets intention. Balance guides every step, even when the path is narrow. Joy appears suddenly, breaking routine with laughter written in movement. From above, the world slows, revealing patterns unseen from below.
Even the smallest labor shapes the land, quietly keeping it whole.
Strength flows best when it moves together, unbroken and calm. Evening sharpens the senses, inviting quiet purpose to rise.
Connection reveals itself not in haste, but in shared rhythm and grace.
Readiness moves lightly here, never rushed, always aware. Small lives listen closely, tuned to every shift in the world around them. Together, even uncertainty becomes navigable. Focus sharpens the air, narrowing the world to a single intention. Survival often whispers, carried by instinct and persistence. Cooperation finds its place where trust is quietly exchanged. Motion becomes freedom when energy meets open space. Precision turns patience into success in a single breath. Sound carries identity, announcing presence without movement.
Growth begins in closeness, learning the world one careful step at a time.
Playfulness returns where water meets land, carrying curiosity in every step.
Color becomes confidence, spoken clearly against the open sky.
Rhythm emerges when movement listens to water's quiet language.
Caution and curiosity share the same heartbeat here.
Warmth gathers strength, then releases it back to the day.
Precision rides the edge between sky and reflection. Tradition lives quietly, repeated with every careful glance.
Night teaches motion to trust the dark. Small lives master surfaces the world barely notices.
Beneath the surface, balance flows quietly, unseen yet complete.
Vigilance rises early here, shaped by cooperation and shared awareness.
Learning begins in imitation, guided by patience and closeness.
Safety lives in touch, teaching the heart before the mind.
Youth carries joy effortlessly, spilling motion into open space. Curiosity steps forward carefully, testing the world before trusting it. Life hums quietly beneath the surface, waiting for rain to answer. Judgment forms in silence, guided by clarity rather than speed. Confidence flows naturally when experience leads the way. Display becomes language, written clearly against the open sky. Stillness speaks last, guarding the quiet as night begins to listen. Movement becomes effortless when the body remembers what it was shaped to do. Expression rises suddenly, then settles back into calm. Care begins with the smallest rituals, repeated without thought. Community moves as one, balancing play with responsibility. Boldness often comes wrapped in small, fearless forms. Rain leaves invitations behind, answered quietly by those who wait. Departure is decisive, carrying intention into the open air.
Trust is learned early, held close in moments of quiet closeness.
Song shapes space, turning silence into belonging.
Rest arrives gently, closing the day without haste.
The forest edges breathe slowly, releasing life one careful step at a time. Curiosity traces patterns in the soil, uncovering what patience reveals. Precision moves silently, leaving only rings of calm behind. Thirst guides the path, steady and unquestioned. Stillness holds warmth, gathering strength without motion. Sound carries memory, echoing seasons long remembered. Safety grows in closeness, learning when to move and when to wait. Gentleness survives in unexpected forms, reshaping strength. Departure feels weightless when night opens its doors. The day closes softly, stitched together by one last note. Defense becomes confidence when movement knows its own pace.
Warmth invites stillness, and stillness gathers strength.
Edges teach awareness, shaping movement through listening. Night awakens gently, opening doors the day keeps closed. Comfort is found by returning to the earth itself.
Stillness decides when motion is allowed.
Even the slowest journeys reshape the ground beneath them. Small voices stitch the landscape together with sound. Readiness gathers quietly, waiting for the moment to leap. Order emerges naturally when movement follows memory etched into the land. Precision waits quietly, held perfectly between stillness and flight. Purpose travels best when shared, carried forward by trust alone. Stillness sharpens intent, preparing motion before it begins.
Rest returns gently, closing the day without urgency. Care sustains even the strongest wings, one careful motion at a time. Balance becomes shared when trust stands close. Night opens softly, releasing motion into shadow.
The night lingers gently, guiding those who move by instinct rather than sight.
Balance is learned early, shaped by height and quiet confidence. Safety gathers in closeness, teaching rest to stay unafraid.
Time walks differently here, never hurried, never lost. Creation becomes instinct when survival learns how to build. Curiosity steps forward, then listens carefully before deciding.
Safety sometimes means becoming part of the landscape itself.
Precision pauses in midair, then commits without doubt. Even the smallest armor carries fearless purpose.
Silence holds its breath, waiting for night to fully arrive.
Speed carries purpose when instinct knows exactly where to go.
Color speaks softly here, layered with memory and light.
Joy appears suddenly, unplanned, and unmistakably alive.
Motion becomes invisible when it learns to belong. Beneath the surface, work continues without witness.
Power rests calmly when confidence needs no display. Opportunity moves gently, following those who open the ground.
Rest takes unusual shapes when the world feels safe enough. Evening slows the pulse, teaching hunger to wait patiently.
Connection answers itself, voice meeting voice in perfect time.
Warmth invites pause, and pause teaches the body where it belongs.
Direction forms without words, guided by shared intent.
Rain awakens ancient voices, steady and unhurried.
Nourishment comes gently when haste steps aside.
The land breathes deeper after rain, and life listens closely.
Progress is quiet when balance leads the way.
Defense does not always move, it waits.
Community speaks in small signals, easily missed but deeply understood. Guidance travels lightly, leaving space for choice to follow.
The quiet workers step forward last when the world finally softens. Endurance stands tall here, shaped by distance and quiet resolve.
Freedom carries a rhythm all its own, unrestrained and honest.
Stillness sharpens color, turning patience into clarity.
Guidance flows forward, teaching strength through example rather than command. Safety lies just beneath the surface, held in silence. Journeys leave traces, carried forward in careful steps. Warning needs no motion when presence is understood. The night prepares quietly, one careful step at a time. Speed becomes safety when the land offers narrow paths.
Some lives touch the surface, only long enough to remind us they are there.
Play teaches strength long before it is ever needed. Small guardians watch closely, fearless in their awareness. The land remembers every step taken with care. Motion flows quietly when fear has no place to land. Abundance reveals itself where patience meets water. Alertness sharpens color, turning moments into decisions.
Defense waits quietly, never rushed, never wasted.
Rain softens the land, and movement follows gently behind.
Creation becomes instinct when home must hold.
Fear fades when confidence knows exactly who it is.
After rain, the ground invites movement, and life answers lightly.
Home becomes a conversation, shared and constantly renewed. Energy rises, then settles, finding comfort in balance. Sometimes survival means becoming part of the ground itself. Vision stretches far when patience holds steady. Rest balances the body, preparing it quietly for what comes next.
Speed chooses its moments carefully, then disappears again.
Learning is rarely graceful, but always determined.
As light fades, motion softens, carrying the day toward rest. The ground becomes shelter, and silence finally feels complete. Thirst eases quietly here, shared without urgency or sound. Stillness becomes shelter when the land feels safe enough. Energy spills forward, learning control one step at a time. Even the smallest journeys find their way through change.
Patience sharpens every step, turning waiting into motion.
Rest gathers strength quietly, unobserved but complete. Motion continues unseen, carrying life forward beneath our notice. Watchfulness expands when the horizon opens wide. The night invites movement without haste, asking only awareness.
As darkness settles, Silence learns how to watch.
Connection doesn't need words. Sometimes it's felt through touch alone.
Presence announces itself gently, carried on breath and balance.
Confidence walks forward without checking who is watching.
Progress doesn't measure speed, only direction.
Awareness sharpens suddenly, ready long before motion begins. Departure feels lighter when shared. Even the smallest color can carry bold intent. The land absorbs motion, turning crowds into quiet.
The night walkers arrive when the world finally slows. Stillness shared becomes its own kind of harmony.
Play shapes skill quietly, preparing strength without pressure.
Color blooms where calm allows it to breathe. Effort rises, then releases, finding ease at the top. Rain invites voices that were waiting patiently beneath the earth. Growth shows itself in moments of testing new space.
Shade becomes shelter when the sun softens its voice.
Ancient designs persist, unchanged by time or attention.
Small moments gather nourishment for the day ahead.
Stillness sharpens as the night prepares to move. The day releases its final breath, and quiet takes its place. Precision lives in patience, choosing each step before it is taken.
Joy finds expression in the smallest, brightest moments.
Movement gathers naturally, then releases back into calm. Protection sometimes means becoming more than you appear. Strength is tested quietly before it is trusted.
Crossing becomes commitment, carried forward together.
Growth unfolds awkwardly, guided by patience and closeness. Experience slows the body, letting awareness lead. Freedom touches the ground briefly, then lifts away again. Awareness sharpens the world, narrowing it to a single breath. Lightness finds form, where balance feels effortless. Energy surges forward, then dissolves back into calm. After rain, even silence feels alive.
Control replaces effort when motion understands itself.
Rain softens more than the ground. It settles the mind. Safety is built carefully, hidden in plain sight. Voice becomes territory, shaping space through sound alone. The quiet paths belong to those who move unseen.
The day lets go gently, carried away on wings of color.
Speed is earned here, but patience decides when it is released.
Color gathers courage where the land feels safe. Movement writes its story briefly, then lets the water forget. Strength rests deeply, waiting for the right moment to speak.
Authority settles where effort no longer needs to show. Courage grows best when it is allowed to stay close.
Patience spins safety strand by strand.
Sound shapes belonging, turning space into home.
Survival walks quietly, protected by ancient design.
As darkness settles, companionship keeps watch. Listening guides every step, turning sound into direction.
Boldness settles quietly, confident without needing to move. The land hides movement, then reveals it again. After rain, even silence feels alive.
Night waits patiently, already awake beneath the day.
Strength moves best when it does not rush. Defense can be instantaneous, perfected through instinct. Boundaries are watched, not announced. The quiet roots belong to those who know them well.
As the day fades, closeness keeps the world warm.
Curiosity moves slowly when every scent carries a story.
Color waits patiently for light to reveal it.
Rain rewrites familiar paths, softening every step. Shelter is shaped patiently, pressed into the earth. Mastery reveals itself when effort disappears. Rest settles naturally when the land exhales.
Speed learns restraint before it moves again.
Sound stitches territory into the air. Evening belongs to those who move between light and silence. As darkness deepens, awareness remains gently awake.